All right, guys. So happy new trading week and welcome to, like, call it another episode of our weekly trading insights, where I give the setups that I'm looking out for and then insightful advice to newbies to scale newbies from being a newbie to a profitable forex trader. Okay, so this week I'm focusing more on synthetic indices. I wanted to trade gold, but I found out that gold is ranging at the moment, so it's best to leave it for now. Okay, let's focus on synthetic indices. So for synthetic indices, I have some pairs that I'm looking out for, but there's no good POI just yet. There's no good POI just yet. Okay. Now let's recap my strategy for people that are joining for the first time. So, of course, for me to have my setup, the first thing that I need to do is to have a very, very good top-down analysis. Can I write this? Okay. First thing is a good top-down analysis. And then I followed suit and I have my what? My POI. And in my POI, the first thing that I wait out for is a sweep of liquidity. A sweep of liquidity, and then a directional break of structure, DPOX, and then structural liquidity. And then I wait for price to take out structural liquidity, and then I have my execution. So let's put this in um perspective. So the first thing is a top-down analysis. I need to understand what market is doing at that time. I need to know where price is going to, if price is in an uptrend or a downtrend. And the next thing after I know where price is going to is to have a sweep of liquidity and then a directional break of structure to validate this first liquidity sweep and to tell me that the direction of market is still very much valid. Okay, let me shift this up. And after this break of structure, I wait for a structural point, which is my structural liquidity. Now, not all structural points are structural liquidity because this is also a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low. But a structural liquidity is valid if there is a first sweep. And this sweep can either be a buy side liquidity sweep above highs or a sell side liquidity sweep above low, below lows rather. So my structural point comes after a first sweep. So I need to have something like this and like this. So this becomes a structural point and acts as my structural liquidity. So I'm waiting for price to take out this, give a valid confirmation here. So I'm waiting for something like this, give a valid confirmation here, and then I enter for a short. It's very, very simple. Same thing with the uptrend. I need to know where price is coming from and then where price is going to, which is the essence of a good top-down analysis. And after that, I wait for a liquidity sweep and then a break of structure, directional break of structure to reveal market intent. And then wait for price to give a structural point, a second break of structure, price tap on it, and then boom, to the upside. Okay. Now, for my strategy, there is also a type B, and type B is very, very simple as well. First, I have to look out for where price is coming from and then where price is going to, and then I have a sweep. But in this case, structural liquidity has to form first before breaking the full structure. So I'm expecting an inner break of structure first, and then a second break of structure here. Okay. If there's no second break of structure, the setup is not valid. So I'm waiting for price to come back here, tap here, and then go to the downside. But of course, You don't just trade pattern. You need to understand what market is doing at every point in time. If market is ranging, of course, you have to stay off. If market is in a downtrend, you have to sell. If market is in an uptrend, you have to buy. So with this setup, you still need to understand what market is doing at that particular point. So which means you need to have a good knowledge of market structure and then have a good top-down analysis. Okay, so let's go back to the charts. I just needed to do that recap for people that, don't know what I trade. All right, so the pairs that I'm looking forward to take are very, very simple pairs, V25 1X. Now, I have done this top-down analysis times with a number. V25 1S is selling. Let's see if the top-down analysis is still here. Most of the synthetic indices pairs, if you want to do their top-down analysis and get it very well, you need to use your MT5 because the MT5 is where you can, check for monthly time frames and all that. But V25 1X is selling from this region and then it's headed here. It's very, very simple. So after you have your top-down analysis, the next thing that you need to do is to look out for your POI. So you can see that V251S is breaking structure to the downside, but it's currently ranging around this area. So I'm expecting price to break this out, either do this or do this. Most preferably, I want price to do something like this. Break this out and then give a sweep of liquidity, break of structure. So just something simple as this. Okay. So now I'll be staying off the 25 1X because the direction is not very, very clear at the moment. Okay. Direction is not clear at the moment. Direction is not so clear at the moment, except you want to risk on this. Let's see what we got. You can see price didn't get to that place. That's why I like, doing my analysis on MT5. But this looks promising, but I don't trust it. It's currently ranging, so there's no need trying to risk your capital in this. It's better to wait out for good setups and then risk properly. Now, there's a contrary POI here. So, but I don't trade against the trend, so I'll basically leave this. Okay. So like I said, I'm expecting this. Now, price might try to respect this and then play up to somewhere here and then invalidate it. So if price invalidate this, which means the ranging has been broken. Okay. So if price invalidate this, then we look for sales to the downside. Okay. But the top-down analysis is very, very valid. V25 is selling. V25 1X is selling up to this point here. Okay, so you can look for sales up to this point here. You can look for sales, right? So for V10, yes, V10 is buying. Okay, for me, V10 is buying. And it's buying from, there's a POI around this region, and it's buying all the way here. Okay, it's buying on the way here. It's buying all the way there. Okay. But I have not seen a very, very good POI yet that I want to buy from. So probably during the week, I'll see what happens. Now, this is a contrary POI. And it might tend to still play out, but I doubt if it will get to full take profit. Most times, POIs like this, price might, get here and then invalidate it and then start going to the upside. Okay, so anticipate something like this. Now, V10 is buying from somewhere here. Can you see? It's buying from somewhere here. So we can, tell from this that the POI will not hold. Okay, it's buying from somewhere here. You can see there was a tiny sweep here and then this was a structural point, and then this was the full break of structure. So we're expecting price to get here, and then, wait for price to get to the top of the analysis, take profits, which is here. Okay. The reason why I didn't, have interest in this trade was that most POI that are more than 1:10 don't tend to hold. And also, I have not seen the valid confirmation for this. Okay, this is more than 1:10. And for my strategy, setups that are more than 1:10, the chances of them holding is very, very slim. It's very, very slim, rather. It's very, very slim. So most times I just leave them. Trades like 1:5, 1:7, 1:3, 1:4, they hold perfectly well. Okay, so the confirmation, no confirmation just yet. No confirmation just yet. I've not seen a valid confirmation. So if I see a valid confirmation and is probably an morning star confirmation with an indecision candle, I might, try to risk it, because confirmations with indecision candle at the middle, evening star or morning star with indecision candle at the middle always tend to play out more. Okay, so if I see something like this, a morning star, like this, let's say I see something like this, morning star, which means this very tiny body and then a long wick, and then I see this close above, I can, enter for a buy. Okay, so look out for this as well. Look out for this. There are not much pairs on synthetic indices that I really want to trade. Okay, there are not much pairs. V15 is doing something crazy. Top analysis is supposed to be from here, but invalidated it and then started playing to the upside. Okay, and we don't know if it will respect the buys or the sell. So trades like this that you're not certain about, you just basically leave them. That's why you see that I didn't give it out. I'm expecting price to invalidate this and then start playing to the upside. But it's not worth my money. So I basically have to, leave it. And then for V51X, price is selling from a top-down analysis around this region. So take note of this, and it's selling all the way here. But there's a contrary POI that price is respecting currently. You can see that we have a sweep, and then this is our structural point. So we're expecting price to come here, invalidate it before, proceeding down to the downside, because the top-down analysis is a sell. So we're expecting price to sell. Okay, so we're expecting price to do something like this. Do something like this. I want price to use this other block and then invalidate it, and then we look for sell. So for now, we have to stay away from it, and then when price, give us a valid sell POI, we can enter for a sell. But for now, we're leaving it, right? You can see that price is trying to form a sell POI. Okay, this is a very valid sweep, and then this is a structural point. So I'm waiting for price to break this full structure. Like I said, if there's no full break of structure, the setup is not valid. So I'm waiting for something like this, and then price come back here, and then boom, to the downside. Okay, so all I have to do now is to, watch what will happen. Same thing is happening on V101X. V101X is also selling from a higher time frame POI from here, and it's headed here. But now there's a contrary POI somewhere here. Okay, but the strength of this strategy will allow this POI to play out for a certain period of time before it will be invalidated. So once stuff like this, you just need to avoid the pair, and then when price, started playing in the direction that you want it to play, you basically enter. You can see that this was also a sell POI, but I want price to take this out, this full range around here. I want price to take it out and then give me a very, very clear direction before I look for sales. Like I said, you don't just trade patterns. You try to understand what the market is doing at every point in time, and then you align your setups with it. Okay, so I wait for price to take this out, and then continue sales, and then I basically look out for sales. Okay, so for now, I believe the only good pairs that I'm looking out for is V25 1X and then V10. V25 1X, I'm looking for sales. V10, I'm looking for buys. Okay. I don't think there's anything on V100 yet. There's no good top-down analysis. There was a good top-down analysis here, but this was the full take profit. So now price is trying to, give a very good top-down analysis, and then we follow suit. Okay. Yeah, those are the most synthetic indices pairs that I'm looking out for. I don't think I have too much pairs. Crash 1000, there is no good top-down analysis here. Crash 1000 has a buy on 24 hours. Yes, that we can use for top-down analysis, but it's yet to, tap it as well. You can see that there's a buy POI and there's a sell POI. So anyone that market gets to first, give a valid confirmation and then start playing out, we follow suit. For now, there's no top-down analysis, but we can see that price is breaking structure to the upside. So we're expecting price to buy. But for now, there's no need having the POI there. Okay, and then for step 200, price is supposed to be in an uptrend, right? Price is supposed to be in an uptrend. I did this analysis when price was still somewhere here. Okay, and we expected price to come here, give a valid confirmation, and then play out. So you can see that it got to full take profit, but I want price to invalidate this contrary POI and then start playing to the upside. Then I can look for buys. Okay, I can look for buys. One thing that you need to learn from this, my strategy, is patience. You need to be disciplined, understand what price is doing before you have the setup. You are not just trading just patterns, but you try to understand the behind the scenes, what is happening behind the scenes, especially for synthetic indices, because they are computer algorithm, right? And synthetic indices, they want to eat your money. They want to finish your money. So they will try to, manipulate it. They'll try to make you not understand it. They'll try to make it feel easy for you. But if you don't understand what is happening behind the scene, you end up in losses and then you call it market manipulations. Okay. So step 200 is buying, but it's currently respecting a contrary POI here. So the best thing that you need to do is to wait for the POI to be invalidated, and then you look for the buys. Okay, so check out V25 1X buys, sales. Check out V10 buys, and then if there are other setups, probably within the week, I will share it on my Telegram group, on my Telegram channel rather. So look out for it, and then see you guys along the week. Wish you a profitable week ahead, but for you to be profitable, you have to pay close attention to what is happening. Study price action. You're not just trading just random patterns that you see, but studying price action and then stick to one strategy. Today, you are not trading indicators. Last week, you traded indicators, and today, you are looking for another best strategy that you want to trade. No, stick to one strategy. I've been trading this strategy for quite a number of time now, like years now. And that's why I can stick to it, because I know what the strategy can do. And that's why I understand it. I know how it works. Okay, so stick to one strategy, learn it from time to time. You're not just jumping around, learn it and then understand it. Okay? And then you see yourself being profitable. Forex is very, very easy. You just need to understand what's going on, have a good strategy that has a good risk to reward, have a good risk management plan, have a good source of income for you to get your capital, because you need a very good capital, have a good money management skill, and then allocate your capital, get good confirmations, get good strategy, and then you are good, right? Practice, practice, practice. With time, you get it. Backtest your strategy, forward test your strategy, and then in no due time, you get it. It's very simple to get, right? But you have to do the work. And that's the hard part of it. You have to do the work. But if you can, discipline yourself to do the work, you can see yourself scaling heights. And in no due time, you'll be doing great numbers, like the people that you see on X. So get active. And I wish you profitable ahead. I'm rooting for you. So bye, guys.